Hey guys, it's Ohmwrecker, and I'm checking out a game called Stardrive today by Zero Sum Games. This game had a successful Kickstarter back in 2011. It's just about to come out, and it is a 4X strategy type game. It is based off some old classics, especially turn-based classics like Master of Orion 1 and 2, or even 3. I guess you could bring that one up too, even though that one was an abomination. But even Master of Magic or Civilization, that type of style. Sins of a Solar Empire is a game I would compare this to a little bit, but there are some differences for sure. But when you first get going, you can select from one of 8 races, and then there's also a number of different perks that you can select. Some are good, some are bad. You can see that the human, they've got all good perks. Now, you can actually get more good perks if you're willing to hurt your side a little bit. So if you see here, I can select Timid and Repulsive. That gives me 5 more points to spend, and then at that point I could go Fertile, and what else can I afford? Eagle-Eyed if I really wanted. So it allows you to customize each side, and there's several different categories here of the perks that you can actually go through to select, which is pretty cool. But each race also has their own ship designs. You can see like this Draylock here has almost like a really futuristic alien-looking ship. The Cordrazine, I guess that's how you'd say it. I don't know, it kind of looks like old-school, very heavy armor-type ships. Humans obviously have these giant capital ships that almost looks like a sword. But yeah, each of them has their own design, and you'll see in a little bit later in the video how the actual ship shapes will impact how you build them. Beyond selecting your class and assigning perks, you can also rename the Empire, rename your race in a singular fashion and plural, and also name your home system. There's a number of different flags for you to pick. You can change the color of it to whatever you want, and then you could change the galaxy size from tiny all the way up to epic, and solar systems from rare to abundant. You can also change the number of opponents. You could just go against one AI if you want. Otherwise, you could have it all the way up to 7, where every race is accounted for. Change the game mode from sandbox into nothing, I guess, because it doesn't work. Maybe that's something they're planning on bringing in later. And then pacing is what you can use to speed up the game. It says a higher pace will result in a longer, oh, never mind, not a longer game, but, or yeah. God, I can't even think today. Alright, so if you set this up, I guess, to 400%, it makes the game longer. I would have thought that'd make it shorter, but nope. Alright, so you cannot go under 100. That kind of sucks for those who want to do quick games. But it's not that big of a deal. You can speed up time when you're actually playing. And then you could also change the difficulty from easy all the way up to brutal. So I'll jump in really quick here. Oh wait, there's a roll option thing. You can change the in-system FTL speed modifier as well, and planetary gravity wells. Really not sure what that's about. But we'll go ahead and jump in really quick, and then I'm going to start loading saved games to show you guys what higher-end play is like. I think I left it on brutal, so I'm probably going to have aliens kicking my ass. Alright, so it looks like I am humans, and if you notice here, we start off with this homeworld. I actually don't think that's Earth, is it? It might be. That might be Japan. There's Korea. They're about to go to war. Yeah, there's Africa. Alright, so they modeled Earth on here. That's pretty cool. But when you start off, you can actually zoom out, and then you're like, oh, cool, you know, here's like this little immediate system. And then you scroll out further. Start seeing stars all over the place. This must be the epic size, because this is freaking huge. I've been playing on a normal size. Look at all these star systems. God. I don't know what's up with my voice today. But yeah, look at all those star systems. That's pretty impressive. I'm going to set this scout to go explore. And you could zoom in and watch him. He's probably going to go into FTL mode and take off. Let's see. Go ahead. You can do it. I'm going to set this ship to explore as well. Well, maybe he needs to get away from everything first? Because of the gravity well setting? That's possible. Yeah, normally ships just start warping away really quick, so that's my bad there. Now, you could also speed up time, like I said, or even slow it down to half setting. If you look in the upper right now it says 0.5x. I could speed it up to as much as I want. Oh, wait, there we go. He started jumping a little bit. Seems like whenever he's near planets, he can't warp. What else we can do here? Alright, I don't want you to explore. So you can see there's other planets here. I can colonize them if I want. Venus is colonizable here. But you can see that it's barren and average. It doesn't support much life. This little setting here is for population. At the bottom, it shows you how much food it can produce and how much, what would you call that? Production every turn. There's virtual turns in this. Mercury is barren poor. Mars is barren ultra poor. These are all really crap planets right now. Can't colonize Jupiter or Saturn, and guess what? Pluto's not a planet. Take that, haters. Alright. Well, we explored one sector here, and we found a Terran average planet. That's actually really good. And a couple others, but this one's kind of garbage. So let's go colonize our first planet. Now, when I hit colonize on it, it's going to send any nearby colony ships over to automatically take it over. And then people will start colonizing there, reproducing, or dying, depending on how much food there is, or if they're getting attacked. But yeah, you know, it's very much like the old classic 4X games, like Master of Orion, except it is real time. Okay. So you can see here that we've got 14 out of 14 population. You start off with a full planet. I'm getting food every turn, I'm getting production every turn, and research every turn. So that's one other thing I want to show here really quick, is research. You go into this little button in the upper right. Actually, let me exit out. Damn it. Okay. Upper left. There's little beakers. Click on beakers or click choose, and you could select what you want to research. Now there's all these different research trees for you to explore. And usually in the early game, I like going the more peaceful route and going with colonization. So here we've got aeroponics, we've got biospheres, or spheres, we've got industrial foundations, scientific foundations, and you can see a cost in beakers for each one of these. So I just queued up these 4, which in the early game it's going to take a while to get through. But you can see now, it's ticking away, and it's based off how many beakers are being made per colonist on the bottom here. Or not per columnist, I'm sorry. It shows you the divide. So you can actually adjust these sliders and say, you know what, I want way more research out of this thing. Alternatively, if you don't want to mess with all that, you can actually set up a governor and say, you know what, I want this to be a research planet. And then it's going to dump a ton of beakers into research. Now you notice the food is going away because there's no food here, but once it hits 0, it balances out. And then the AI says, hey, you know what, I want to what was it, aeroponic? Yeah, aeroponic farm. We're going to need more food, so they do that. And yeah, it's mostly focused on research, so we're going to be getting through research really quick here. And eventually you want to start going down the militaristic routes here. And start getting heavy fighter hulls. You could get giant frigates, cruisers, battleships, titans. You could have fighter bays on your ships. And that's actually one other thing I'm going to cover. And here's my first colonized planet. So eventually you will start running into the aliens, and by then it's probably a good idea to start building up your military quite a bit, because there are some really, really pissy aliens out there. What is this? Oh, these are xenofighters. They're just guarding, I guess, the star? I'm really not sure. Yeah, this is a star without planets. So they're just hanging around. These are, think of these like alien ships that, you know, from like a different era, almost like the Mass Effect, whatchamacallits, I forget their name. But Reapers, like, yeah, Reapers, right? But yeah, these are ships that are an alien race that you can't play. At least right now you can't. I don't know if they're planning on adding them as a playable at some point, or maybe there's some sort of Easter egg that would let you play as them. But also, I did forget to mention here, for these research trees, there are actually some secret research paths you can do. And I don't want to spoil that for you, but I'll just say that much. There's some research that's not listed there. It's up for you to find it. It's a big galaxy. And you can see that my ships are still exploring everything. Now, if you see this little swirly symbol, that means that there's a planet with an artifact. God, my voice. And, yeah, the artifacts in the game will usually provide a racial bonus. Sometimes it's just a one-off thing, but other times it will provide an ongoing benefit to you. And another thing we could do, let's see if I can actually do it right now. Yeah, I can actually make subspace projectors. And when you see AIs, you'll see them do this a lot. This is almost like laying down highways. So I could say, you know what, I want another one here, and let's go ahead and connect this nomadic sector really quick. And you'll see this little constructor guy here. He's going straight to this spot, and he's going to set up a projector that helps my ships warp really quickly. You can see there's another, and yet another. And essentially they're just setting up this highway that allows my ships to go really quickly between sectors and not really lose much of their fuel when they're doing so. Alright, so I think I've shown enough of this. This is the very early game, and odds are you're not going to be playing on an epic-sized star cluster. I mean, seriously, it would take forever to finish a game on this map. I'd imagine that you could probably get like 30 to 60 hours out of this, potentially, depending on how you play. And there you go. You can see how wherever these things are built, it creates more of this influence here. I wonder, these three built, but why hasn't this one yet? He's just kind of spinning in place. Come on. I really don't know what he's doing. See, can I cancel this one? Nope. Oh well. Again, there's some bugs in the beta, but usually it's a smooth process. You can see these other three built, no problem. Now, let's go ahead and get into my saved games here so I can show you what some of the gameplay is like. So, War for Real. Alright, I saved this one a while ago. Not sure what's in it, but let's find out. I think this is kind of more the early game still. I'll have to see, though, what type of ships I have. Alright, so we're pausing right now. This is not my sector. I'm up here as the purple side. Now, I said War for Real. You can see I've got all these connected systems. I've got different planets. And there's aliens all over. See that we're all kind of bumping into each other. We're starting to fight for the planets that are, you know, the most valuable. So let's see, where are my ships? I've got to have a fleet somewhere. Oh, okay. So I've got a fleet here. Now these are destroyers. They're still on the smaller side. But I've also got a lot of fighters. You can see all these guys here. And as you can see, I can pause the game. I can resume just by hitting the spacebar. And then I've also got planetary bombers. Alright. So we're going to go in. What is this? Oh, these are ground troops, aren't they? Yep. Alright, so you can also do planetary invasions. So let's go ahead and speed up. Oh, alright, well here's some diplomacy. An alien is asking me for help. They want me to go to war with Opteris. I guess we'll do it. And he's quite happy about it. So I think Opteris are right here. Let's look at the diplomacy screen. You can see that it's got a full diplomacy system, including agents and espionage. You can use your agents to do a wide variety of things. Let's check my money situation right now. I've got $1,130 right now, or whatever you call them, space currency. And I'm gaining 10 per virtual turn. So why don't we go ahead and... Well, we don't want to steal his money because he's ranked number 7 in economic strength. That means he's got the least amount of funds, but we could do a sabotage mission. And why don't we try inciting rebels? Alright, so as events happen in the right side, you'll get all these prompts. I'm gonna go ahead and kill all these ones. And then let's go in on this alien here. Get all our ships ready. And they should all start warping in right now. Alright, here we go. So they're starting to come in to Pulo 4. I'm going to tell them to attack the ships. He's got a troop shuttle, attack worker. He's also got a shipyard on the outside. And this is a desert planet. Alright, so we're going to go for this target. And we're going to get ready to bring in the ground forces as well. Alright, so I'm going to slow down time all the way to 1x so you guys can see how combat works. So these are missile ships. Later in the game, missiles start to suck because of ECM. You can see how quick that one went down. I say right now I've got a superior force in this sector. So we're going to bring in our planet bombers. And we're just blowing up everything. And I cannot remember what I have on these destroyers. Looks like some missiles and some sort of beam weapon or laser. Alright, so my planet bombers are coming in. Now here's where you can actually mess around with the ground assault. On the planet screen in the lower left, you can actually either take a look at the details or you can pull up a specialized screen that shows you what's on the ground. So what I want to do is actually go into here and I want to set bombard on. This is going to tell my planetary bombers to bomb the hell out of the planet. And what is all this? Oh my god. Are these enemy ships? Wait, no. Those are friendly, right? Crap. Trying to figure out what the color is. No, that's red. Who's red? Alright, so it's this Wolfen Empire. I guess he wants a piece of the pie, too. You can see all the bombardment going on. We're sending all these nukes down. And if we look at the actual planet surface, you can see the explosions going on. Oh, god damn it. The Wolfen just declared war on me. So this is time to back out of here. This really sucks, man. We're in a battle right now. And now we're gonna have to deal with these damn wolves. Oh well. Alright, I'm just gonna focus on this right now. So again, we're bombing the hell out of the ship. See all those explosions. I got speed, or the timer set up to 3x. I think all the defenses should be about down here now, so let's look at the map. You can see most of the stuff is pretty messed up, so this is where I can actually send in my troops. So if I do troops here, because bombarded was already going on, I can actually drag and drop to any of these sectors and drop them off manually, or I could just hit land all. And once I unpause, you'll see them show up on the planet. Now let's slow down. You can see that there is a little combat animation. It's not nearly as cool as Master of Orion 1 and 2, but whenever these timers count down, the units will take a turn, and essentially all my infantry here that I landed are trying to take over this planet. Which it looks like they're going to succeed at because there's really nothing to stop them. So once that's done, the planet will actually become mine. And you can see it looks like we killed all the colonists. Yep, all the colonists are dead. Now we do still have troops on it. And I guess we're still fighting. Speed up time here. Okay, actually we need to set bombard to off. Oh, wrong setting. Okay. Get our ships out of here. Looks like this force here is still trying to defend itself. But that planet is toast. Oh god. Alright, let's slow down time. Here we go against the Wolfen Empire. You can see we've got bigger ships, but he's got more smaller ships. This could be really bad. And you can zoom out, zoom in, do whatever you want. You can just let it play out, go worry about other stuff. I usually like to watch the battles, though, as they go on. Some really cool visuals. Although when you do get in close, you do lose the actual little selection things showing if they're friendly or enemy. But you can see, I mean, it looks pretty good. Got some pretty nice visuals for a you know, a game that was essentially funded off Kickstarter. Totally indie, pretty new studio. It looks like we're kicking the ass of these Wolfen guys so far. Got to look at my ships. Now, the ships, you can see their shield rating, you can see how much energy they have, and also how many ordnance, or how much ordnance they have on them as well. When you're using ballistics like missiles or cannons, or even machine guns, you're entirely reliant on ballistics. When you start using energy weapons, though, you can end up, you know, ditching ordnance. But at that point, you need to then make sure you've got enough energy in reactors and whatnot. The problem with reactors is if they get hit, they can cause a chain reaction of an explosion. Man, everybody's here now. This is really bad. Oh, and another cool thing is you could see the damage on the ships, like, per pixel, essentially. So you can see all of his systems getting damaged. And if he has weapons in that left nose portion, and they turn red, those weapons, they no longer work. If you destroy a shield system, let's say he's got shields in his center, those no longer work. So everything in the you know, ship design can be disabled or destroyed. So let's speed this up. Let's see the outcome. Normally I'd be reinforcing all my stuff right now, but damn, he keeps coming in. Really not cool to do a 2 versus 1, I'll say that much. Alright, so I see some spy reports here. One of my spies sabotaged production on one planet for 26 turns. One sabotaged for 55 turns, that's really good. One escaped while trying to incite a rebellion, so that was a failure, but they didn't get killed. Your spies can get killed. And another successfully incited a rebellion on a planet. So if a rebellion's going on, that planet, odds are, going to have rebel troops on it trying to take over the planet. And actually, the AIs, or even you, can lose a planet to rebels if they succeed. Which really sucks, because then you have to go and try to take it back over. Alright, so I think I've showed enough here. Actually, let's see where we were on the research tree. Just so you can see some of the progression. And there's a secrets tab. I'm not going to open it, though. But you can see that I did some research at this point all the way down to the cruiser construction. I got ace training on fighters, medium freighters, which helps you transport goods. These are really important for a well-rounded empire, is to be able to transport goods and people to new planets or to planets that need resources. And what else did we get? I'm kind of skimping on space weapon. Oh shit, I didn't mean to show that. Physics. I've done a couple in physics. Socio-logistics is where I've invested my most research points, because I want that money. Energy I also did a lot of, and colonization a fair amount as well. Alright, so let's load another game. I'm going to show the late game. And why don't we go to autosave? No, which one do I want to do? I guess we'll do autosave 3. This is when a game crashed on me. Hopefully it doesn't crash when I load into it. But as mentioned, one of the dev updates, I'm running actually a side build. It's meant to be like a test build. And it introduced a crashing issue. But here you can see that we've got some combat going on. And I've got this pretty epic fleet here, including a monstrous ship. The size of this thing, let's see if I can find a fighter. I guess that's kind of a fighter there. Wait, is it? Alright, yeah, so this is a pretty big ship. I named it Death. And we're at 1x right now. You see I've got all these ships with shields, and at this point I've gone pretty much all energy weapons. Problem is that a lot of these enemy ships here have countermeasures. They have the ability to dodge things. So all in all, I've got to usually lay out a lot more power before destroying things. And let's see my setups here. I've got a lot of planet destroyers. So I think I'm going to show... okay, this is a little bit different because in the last one we showed that we took this out. Obviously, this is a different save game. I can tell you I killed the Vulfin, and the United Federation got knocked out by the Apteris. The Apteris have been total bullies this game, and just total pains in the asses overall. You can see I've got, though, a lot of agents. I've made his life hell with rebellions and sabotage attempts. But damn it, is he hard to take out. So let's see, what type of planet is this? Oceanic. I want to find a planet that's going to hurt him the most if I go and attack it. And since I've done scouting, I can actually go look. Alright, that's a Terran average planet. Actually, we don't have to zoom in all the way. I can just click a sector and then look at it that way too. This looks like his bread and butter sector here. Let's see what this one is. Ooh, Apteris. Actually, this is probably his homeworld. Wow, he had a really nice sector here. Look at all these planets with high population counts. Although they did kind of suck for food and output. Alright, so let's go ahead and warp over here. This time I'm not bringing along troops, though. I am on a mission to actually wipe out that planet. I want to bomb it to hell, kill all the civilians. Alright, come on, guys. You can do this. Oh, we gotta speed up time more. He's got this little inhibitor here. Now, these things, when you're at war, and especially if you don't have a, during peace times, a treaty for, let's see, open borders, they slow you down as you go through this space. So it's actually one way to kind of wall off your enemy and delay them from getting in. Alright, we've got our bombers here. And yeah, this is an extermination mission more than anything else. But right now, several of these aliens are at war. You can see all these ships. I'm allied with pretty much everybody. We're all trying to kill this damn Apteris here, which is an AI, so it's really, really hard to work with. Let's see what's going on here. Looks like the Apteris is trying to assault this planet. They've been trying to assault my planets too. I've got one up here in particular that they've been nailing forever. So what I did was I loaded it up with troops and also these spider tanks. Spider tanks are kind of like the upgraded version of ground units. And so far they haven't been able to take it, because it's just so well defended from the ground. Alright, come on guys. Speed up time a little more. Why is this taking so long? Huh. Alright, come on. Alright, well that one sped up. The other ones are taking their sweet time though. And I think he knows I'm coming because he's sending ships back. Alright, so this is a one-way battle. I don't know if I'm going to come out of this because this AI faction has been just absolutely nuts about building a ton of ships. Like, unbelievable amount of ships. Wait. Why does it say colonize? Did he already lose his planet? He did! I think another AI destroyed that planet. Alternatively, well, you know what? Let's bomb the hell out of the last one he has. So we're gonna send all our ships in. Not one at a time, though. There's my big daddy. All right, so we're gonna bring time back down to 1x. And you can see this thing's got just a rays of death. That's why I named it Death. Smack that thing right in the face. Holy shit! All my ships just stacked up. Look at that. That's insane. I've never seen my ships come in like that. Oh man, I thought I was crashing for a second. I was probably trying to figure out like what the hell happened. Alright, so now we're going to send in our next fleet here, and we're going to do a bombardment on the planet while we kill his ships. Now you can see what I mean about having to dish out a lot of fire. This ship here must have a lot of armor and countermeasures because it is really, really, really hard to bring down. I've killed a ton of these, but it always takes forever. Alright, so where are my bombers? Here they come. And ships actually do gain veterancy. You can see here this one's 2 stars. And we are doing a great job. So I want all my ships to take this out. The one thing I don't like about ship combat is that ships have a tendency to approach ships and keep approaching them and then fly by. I would so much rather have ships just be strategic, aim at them, and you know, just try to take out the ship like head on and just keep laying in. Otherwise, you gotta wait for them to go past and then turn around. Look at how much fire this thing has taken. This is exactly what I've been talking about. Most armored ship ever, but you can see in the lower left how he's kind of plinking away, or we're plinking away rather, at all of his internal systems. There he goes, he's going critical. His reactor's set off. Alright, so our bombers are here, and we are going to eradicate everybody on the ground. You see here all the nuke explosions. I'm not messing around, man. I want these guys to die forever. Look at all that. Alright, so we can speed up time a little bit. We'll do 3x. And this planet's almost dead. Look at that, 1.3 million out of 7.9. Or maybe that's even billion. Uh-oh. Oh, okay, never mind. I thought I was losing some of my bombers here. Alright, so this planet is dead. Or planet is dead, rather. Alright, so that's one down, and I think that's what my strategy is going to be, even beyond this video, is we're just going to go in, eradicate everything on the ground, and keep moving along. By doing that, we will ruin their ability to continue making ships, because they won't have any planets. Oh, ignore this, you're not supposed to see that. That's what I get for loading a late game save here. Man, look at all these ships, seriously. When I said that this AI makes a lot of ships, I meant it. I mean, it had even more before this war started. Like, it had probably 200. And I've been struggling so hard to take out everything. Alright, so we're going to wipe out all these planets now. Here comes my fleet. Okay, so we're going to go to this screen, select Bombard. Hopefully my bombers move in and do their job. Oh shit, some of them are attacking my bombers. Wow, when this ship has a lot of shielding, you can see that little blue orb. Oh shit. Okay, never mind. My bombers are still here. That blue orb, or not blue, green. God, I can't even identify colors right now. That green orb is actually the shielding level on the planet. Let's see, am I doing anything to it at all? Now, occasionally bombing can be a little bit finicky, where they won't always get into bombing position. But let's see. Yeah, we're barely making a dent in the planetary shield. That's ridiculous. I wonder why that is. We've got 6 bombers here. Huh. I don't think I'd be able to make a dent in this thing at all unless I brought along a lot more bombers. Because this thing just recharges as soon as I fire at it. And it's got ground defenses. You can see those little missiles launching up. They did a lot of damage to my bomber. Yeah, there's no way I can do anything about that. Let's see if another planet's here. Nope, that has 550 shield. This one we could take out. So let's go over to this area. Let's see, that one's not colonized. Oh shit, I should have brought in my bombers first. Oh wait, those weren't my bombers, never mind. So this one we're going to set to bombard. This one we'll be able to eradicate quickly. Alright, so our bombers are moving in. See the shield absorbing damage, but it can't keep up with the bombs. Once we punch through, we're going to start doing damage. And there we go. We're starting to do damage. You can see the shield indicator going down. Shield represents the structures on the ground. What the hell is this? That's a different looking spider tank. Must be unique to the Opteris. I've never seen that before. As mentioned, each side kind of has their own benefits. So this planet's pretty much toast. That's got to suck for him. But I gotta say, man, he is doing a fantastic job at defending these other ones. And there we go. Everything on the ground here is dead. We wiped out every civilian, all his structures, everything. And that's gotta hurt. This is how you wear down these enemies. Every time you do that, I took out planets, or what, it was one planet here, took out one here. And if I just keep doing it, eventually he's gonna have a really hard time reinforcing himself. Plus, he'll probably go bankrupt. And if you go bankrupt, then you have to start dealing with rebels breaking out on your planets all the time. Alright, so I think I've shown enough of this. And again, in the hopes of avoiding any major bugs right now in this dev build, I do want to try to keep this one a little bit shorter. But so far it's fun, and actually I'll show the research tree. Alright, I think I already did this. But at this point, yeah, I mean, I've researched everything. And there's really nothing left to do for me except go down the secrets route. One of the ways I did that was I was really good with my agents. You see I've got pretty much all my agents maxed out. That's because for most of the game, because I had so much money, I was able to keep hiring new agents. Here, I'll go and hire a new one. And I would train them. So after 25 turns, that agent will maybe go up. Sometimes they die during training, but yeah, maybe he'll advance. Sometimes even he'll advance 2 ranks. And what I would do then is I would look around and say, okay, well, who's got the most economic strength? Like this guy, the cool Wrathy. And I would say, okay, well, I want to go and do a robbery. And my agents a lot of times would come back. Here, I can unpause. We'll see what those agents do, how much money they get. But sometimes they'll come back with like hundreds of dollars. And it's just free money. And so I was doing that to get all the money. And then I started doing steel tech missions. I would look at who had a lot of tech. Or I would conduct diplomacy. Like here, we'll contact this guy here. And you can see he's enslaved to these owls. It's really weird. But you can go to technology. Unfortunately, since I have all the techs at this point, he has nothing to list. But I would also be able to tell if he had techs that I don't have by going here in the trade window. And then I would go and do a spy mission. I'd say, okay, steal a tech. And a lot of times they would come back and bring me free technologies. Alright, so that was a war notification. And this is a normal sized map. You can see even on normal there's still a lot of stars to work with. I'm sure a lot of these are uninhabitable. Let's see. Yep. That's why there's little gaps here. These aren't planets that you can actually put people on. But I do want to see what happens with my spy missions. They should be coming back soon. And as I said, there's kind of like virtual turns here. Alright, so my spy successfully completed training. He's gone up in 1 level. I wasn't able to steal any, but here we go. This is exactly what I was talking about. Stole 225 credits. So that's one way you can kind of, you know, get yourself an advantage. But at the same time, espionage can strain relationships big time. You'll see here that if... Alright, let's contact this guy again. You see he's really angry at me. He doesn't trust me at all, and he doesn't fear me at all. Those sliders will change depending on your relationship. And, like, this one fears me. So let's see if I can try using fear against him. Let's see if I could scare him into an alliance. I'm gonna threaten him. Oh, I can't. Alright, let's see if I could get him to give me Mercury in a threatening manner. You can see how the text changes. So we're gonna send this offer. Offer us an alliance alone and we can consider it. Alright, so he does not want to give me his planet. But he's willing to do an alliance, so let's go ahead and try that. You can also have conversations with them. You can ask them what they think about other aliens and whatnot. You can also ask them to go to war with aliens. Well, let's go ahead and see if he wants an alliance. You will not be my allies, you son of a bitch. This is also where you can declare war. Why don't we just do it? And he obviously thinks he can take me on, whatever. Alright, the other thing I want to show before I wrap this up is the shipbuilding side of things. Wait, let's make sure we showed everything. There is an Empire Management screen, which you can use to bring up a quick look at all of your planets, what they're doing, what they're constructing, if they've got a governor activated or not. But yeah, there's the shipyard. That's what I really want to show here. So every side, as I said before, has different style ships. This one has got some really unique designs. And you see here, these are just bare ships. For this one, I believe the carrier is the biggest, and this thing is freaking huge. I haven't built one yet. The death ship that you saw was a warbird. So, you know, when I was saying, like, look at the size of that compared to a fighter, well, check out this frickin' carrier. Even bigger than that. Now, it's up to you to design these ships, or I guess you could load templates. You can see here there's a bunch of different templates for frigates, templates for cruisers and whatnot. But if you want to design your own ship, let's just do like a bird of prey cruiser. So you see all these different these little, like their I's and IO and whatnot, or 10 and I don't even know what that's supposed to be, if it's an I or what. But then there's E's. Okay, so it's kind of self-explanatory once you poke around in it a little bit, but I'll try to summarize here really quick. E is engine. This is where you can actually place engines. If I want, I can give it a ton of small rinky-dink engines. And you can see on the right side, it tells you how much mass your ship has, what the production cost is. Now, alternatively, if you've researched other types of engines, you could slap those in there too. So I could say, hey, I want 2 capital engines, and I want medium warp engines here too. And then we could do some small warp engines up here that'll increase my warp speed, going all the way across. Now at this point, you can see what my speed would be, although I don't have power, so I need to lay down a power plant. So let's go and make an antimatter. Let's make 2. So now these are all powered up and good to go. And it says my FTL speed is 336.1k. My sublight speed is 882. My turn rate is 60.2. Not bad for this type of ship. But I also have a low mass right now. Now, of course, you want to lay down some weapons. Actually, before we do that, let's lay down some armor. Now, it's entirely up to you how you want to build. You can go heavy-ass armor all over the place and say, I don't want anybody to be able to hurt my internal systems. I want to be able to take a ton of fire. But by doing that, you're also limiting the number of weapons you could have. And there's also shields for you to worry about. And then you could also do small armors, so I could fill in the gaps here with small. Now, well-armored ships do, of course, last longer typically, but again, they sacrifice punching power. And you would, of course, want to also shield your rear, just in case your ship is turning around, like they always do. But the unfortunate thing is you can't really you can't put armor around your engines. They're always exposed. Alright, so after that, let's go back to power. You can run a power conduit. We're going to run it straight up. Now you can see the squares changing. That means that they can get power. So I'm running 2 here. Oh shit, I screwed up. And we're running this across, and we're running this across. I guess we'll run this across too, and up, and over, and up. Not the best design here for power, but we'll try to roll with it. And then we can start slapping down weapons. So you've got all your different categories of weapons. You've got your ballistics, your missiles, your bombs, energy beams, cannons, torpedoes, plasma. So let's say I want to have a death spore bomb here. We'll put 2 over there. And that's for planetary salt. So this will be like a multi-purpose. And then let's say I want to have some cannons for just hard punching power. Some of them are huge, and they just don't fit with certain ship designs. I could slap one here. Or no, I can't. I can't even fit this here without getting rid of armor. This is more for capital ships. But let's say I want to have some flak turrets. So we'll do some scatter flak. Oh, I can't, because I've got so much armor. This is what I was talking about with your sacrificing weaponry. So I can do standard flak. There we go. Those are all power. So we've got 3 flak turrets in the front. And let's say I want to have... let's have some missile launchers here. At this point in the game, though, I would not be building these. And we want to have some energy, too. So disintegrator array is not going to happen on this ship. It's just way too big. It's for capital ships. But we could put fusion beam turrets or a heavy mount fusion beam. Go ahead and do that. Got 2 there. And let's say, okay, let's say we're expecting to encounter missiles. Well, if we put these phalanx PDs here, these will shoot down missiles as they come in. But they do need ordnance. You can see here, ordnance per shot is 1 for these guys. Missiles require 5 ordnance per shot. So at that point, you got to think ahead and say, okay, I know I'm going to need some ordnance. So we're going to slap some ordnance in the eye sectors. Ordnance can go pretty much anywhere, but I usually like to keep them internally where they're a little bit more well protected. So you can see on the right side, it's now saying that my ordnance capacity is 418 by 43. What else? So, I mean, essentially you're building a complete ship. So I'm putting down a bridge. That's where your crew is to control a ship. And you essentially just, you know, fill out your ship completely where, you know, until you're happy with it. But you do need to make sure that every square is used. It'll tell you when there's empty slots by putting an X here. Eventually, you're going to populate everything, and then you're good to go. You can start producing the ship that you created. Now, let's load up one. Let's see. That planet bomber that I was using before. You can see here that the planet bomber, I had a hell of a lot of ordnance, and I also had 6 tactical nuclear bomb bays. Now, that wasn't enough for those planets that were really well shielded. But early game and mid game, this was a really nasty ship. Alright, so let's check out one more ship and then we'll wrap this up. Alright, my end game, no, I want to do a bigger one. Let's see, capital Death. Alright, here's that death ship that I built. There we go. You can see I've got this thing filled to the brim with power, armor. Well, it could have been better well armor, that's for sure. But it's got a shitload of power, cells. Honestly, I think I kind of overdid it on this one because I never really saw my death ship running out of power. But I also have a lot of shields, and one thing you can do, actually, let me show you this. You can click on arcs, and this is really cool. For ships that can arc their weapons, you can actually modify it. So I can turn this weapon, where its cone of fire is essentially to the side and back. And so you can do this with like rear firing weapons. And that way you can kind of cover your butt. Or you can just have them all facing forward. But when you're doing this view mode, you can also then see your shield arcs. Now at this time, when I built this thing, I did not have the top-notch shield. Now I do. It's called a canopy shield. You can see canopy shields actually would cover pretty much this whole thing. But because I didn't have it, I had to work with smaller shields all over the place. And that kind of took up more room. But yeah, I mean, you know, this is kind of the cool stuff you get to do with this game that takes it definitely way above the level that was seen in Master of Orion. I did prefer, you know, kind of having a simpler method that was available. But then again, once you start to get into this, where you're essentially making like any kind of ship you want with any of the stuff you've researched or you've stolen from other aliens, it's actually really cool. I mean, and then when you see the ships kicking ass, you could say, hey, that's my design. It wasn't some developer, it wasn't, you know, a random design based off what you've researched. It's all you, which is really awesome. So I think that's going to wrap this one up, guys. Again, this has been Stardrive. Very cool game. It's got a lot of promise. And it's definitely on the level of Sins of a Solar Empire in terms of quality. I just hope that they do nail down some of these bugs, especially the sound bug I've been having lately where sound cuts out. But again, it's beta. It's several weeks until launch. I know that the developers are aware of it. Wow, I'm getting my ass kicked, it looks like here. You can see my ship's kind of getting all messed up, taking internal damage and stuff. But yeah, guys, it's just about to release on Steam. I will leave a link to the Steam store page in the description, so if it's something that you think you would like, definitely check it out. Well, guys, that does it for this one. As always, please be sure to like, favorite, comment, and subscribe. Tell your friends about my channel. I always appreciate when you guys do that. And stay tuned for more videos. I'll see you guys next time.